So now over at the laser computer, we need to get this all set up to where we can send it to the laser. We're going to open up CorelDRAW from your start menu and open a new graphic. Now, you may notice that this is an 8.5 and 11 by 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper, and we have a much larger bed than that. So we're going to change the size of this to 24 by 18. And so we can see what's on here. We're also going to change our ruler layout, because if you look, the top edge of this is 18, and then on the actual laser that starts at 0. So that's kind of confusing. Let's change that. So grid and ruler setup, we are going to go down to rulers and set the vertical to 18. We also want to be able to nudge it. That's when you use your arrow keys on your keyboard, but let's make it more precise. Instead of 0.1, let's do 0.01, so 1/100th of an inch every time we go to nudge it. And let's take a look at the grid as well. The grid, I do want to show a grid as a dot, and instead of 4 per inch, let's show me 8 per inch. So now I have little 1/8 inch squares, and that looks kind of like this. Now, I don't know what size material I'm going to give you. The one that I am testing this with looks like 8.5 by 5.5. So to get that set up, I'm just going to grab this ruler and drag down. It's 5.5 for the width, and 8.5 for the length. Oh, that's right at 8, isn't it? There's 8.5. And if we want to get really precise, I could change this up here to 8.5 and move it just a little bit. Not necessary. This is just really to line it up. Although if we were going to engrave something like a cell phone, I want to make sure all of these things were very well lined up. We could also add more of these if we needed to, and just as easily delete them. So it's just to organize where things are going to cut. Let's go and import our file, and this is under the shared drive, Burlington Community High School, Industrial Tech, CAD, and you should have a folder called GenevaCam, which you dragged your things into and you named it as your name. So let's go to import with the top view, and that doesn't all fit here, does it? Okay, so what could we do? Looks like the easiest would be to take this guy and rotate him and try and fit that there and move this over here. So I'm going to right click and say ungroup all, click off to the side, highlight just this piece and drag it way away from the edge. I'm going to highlight this one. As long as I don't highlight the entire piece over here, it's just going to select that one. Alright, and already I can tell I don't quite have enough material to put him there. So let's try and move this one as well. Uh-oh, that's not going to work. Let's try one more time. There we go. Should be able to move him. Let's move him over. That can go there. That can go there. And here, if I click on it one more time, I get a circle thing, and I can rotate it by 90 degrees, and it keeps it all lined up for me. Click it again to get my move arrows, and I can put that right there. I want everything, so I'm going to highlight a big box around all of it, and then right click on red. I want all of this to be a vector cutting line except for this round piece here. Right click on black, and this little piece here. Right click on black. So what that's going to do, anything that's red, the laser is going to completely cut that piece out. Anything that's black, it's just going to make a marking, so I can use that for later. Now I'm going to go up to print, file, print, and this is like a normal kind of a setup. We say no, and we could print this to anywhere in the building, but we're going to choose VLS. That's the laser system. Go into Properties, and we're going to tell it this is a mat board. It's actually cardboard, but I don't see that on here anywhere for my material database. So we're going to say it's mat board, and make sure that you measure how thick the material is that I give you. The stuff that I'm practicing with is 0.03 for the thickness, and we'll see how well this actually works. But we're going to say 0.03, hit apply, and say OK, and print. Now, the laser isn't going to do anything yet. We have to go back into our start menu and open up UCP. So after this is opened, it gives me a dialog of what this would look like, but I can't hit play yet because I haven't turned the printer on. To the left of the computer is a little power button on the laser itself. Hold that down until a little green light comes on. And as soon as it goes through its whole calibration thing, this should light up green. I can't really show you what's going on. You just have to trust me that that's all working correctly. Okay, so there's just turned green, but I don't want to start yet. I want to turn on the air assist. So that's all the way over past the laser engraver. There's a box next to it, and it has things that say check HEPA, check bag, power, and off on. You want to switch that to on. It's going to make a louder noise, and that's going to suck out any of the extra fumes made by the laser. Now we can hit play, and you can watch on the screen. It's going to show you what's happening here, or you can just look to your left and see the laser actually working. So first it's going to go through and do the raster things. It's going to show where that thing is located, and then it will cut out all of the parts. Once this is done, you can get a couple of pins from me. We'll put it together, and that is the end of the project.